Good day, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we have with us Ramiz Essani, and Ramiz is a digital marketing expert, and he came here for his education and then went on to get himself integrated into the mainstream professional space. So we'll give him the opportunity to get started. So Ramiz, if you can get started by telling us a little bit about yourself first.
Sure. So thank you very much, firstly, Saad, for having me on the podcast. So as you mentioned that, I belong to the digital marketing field and I came to Canada last year. It's just been 15 to 16 months and I just completed my education. So I did two postgraduate certificate. One was in digital marketing and the other was in public relations. Since I was in Canada, so obviously while I was a student, I was working, part-time in different fields. I had my own, digital marketing stuff going on as freelance, but for part-time opportunities, I worked in the Aga Khan Museum, I worked with Humber College, and now finally I'm working with York University.
That's nice. So, and before you came here to Canada for your education, you did what in back home, or where did you do your bachelor's or master's?
Sure. So my bachelor's was in advertising, media sciences from Iqra University. And I was working since around 6.5 years in multiple domains. Most of my experience is for B2B software development companies, especially based in the Middle East and US. So, I was in digital marketing for all those companies.
Interesting. So, what led you to you pursued the program at York, or which right? So,
Yes.
what led you to pursue the program at York, and why not any of the other colleges that are out there?
So yeah, not a very big reason of that, but just a few referrals because some of my friends from Karachi, they belong to the same field, and they recommended me that they have a good postgraduate certificate, and you also get the exemption. They consider your previous degrees as well. Similarly, York has a very good name. It's one of the biggest universities in Canada. So all those referrals, and then I saw the course outline. Everything was aligning with my past experience. So I said, let's go for it.
And this was a 6 month duration
No,
of the
it was an 8-month program, which counts as a complete year. So I
Okay.
did two of them. One was 8 months in digital marketing. The second was also 8 months in public relations.
Oh, so you spent 16 weeks in
That's right.
total. Okay. So why the need to do public relations after digital marketing?
So as we all know that international students, their main purpose usually is to, come and settle in the country and not just have an education. And for that, you have to go through a process. So first, when you get the study permit, if you have done 1 year of education, you get a postgraduate work permit of 1 year. But if you do two programs, you get a 3 years work permit, which gives you ample amount of time and a lot of time to, explore different opportunities and, gain your points for, permanent residency. So that was my thought. And public relations, that's why as well, because it's the most connected with marketing, the most closest field. And it was again with the same university, and then the courses were getting aligned. I was pretty happy with the schedule that York University has. So I had all my classes in the evening and I used to work the entire day, so it was pretty much aligning with me. So that's why I chose
So when you say work in the day, is that in reference to your own work, or you were like a full-time job?
So it's both technically, because the work that I was doing here, that was part-time, right? So 20 hours a week. So I usually used to work 3 days a week. And the other 2 days, I was, having some different projects of digital marketing on the side. I even have a few clients in Canada I was already managing from Pakistan. So I was continuing with them as well.
So and that is all through these remote work websites like or Fiverr and things like that, or is it like some other channel that
No.
you've
So
adopted?
surprisingly, everybody asks me the same question that, where do you get your clients from? And I've never used Fiverr or Upwork or any such platform. Everything that I did is through references, through a good personal brand, through networking. And that's what I've been doing in Canada as well. All my jobs, everything, networking gave me everything that I have today.
Oh, interesting. That has worked for you. That's good. So in terms of Ramiz, your current job, you're in a full-time position now, right?
Right.
So what is your role? Tell us a little bit about that, and what is one day in the life of Ramiz?
Sure. So I just started at York University, and it's still not my field right now because my official ending date of my program is like next month. So I'm still, kind of hustling with the student life, but I have a full-time job because it's within York University. So it counts as on campus, and on campus, there is no 20-hour restriction. So that's why I opted for it. And, organizations like York University, when you enter the organization, there are a lot of opportunities that you can, internally, transfer to. So currently what I do is learning management system assistant. There's a platform called Moodle that York uses. So we are responsible for creating all the courses, coordinating with the instructors. A lot of minute details have a very huge role in this opportunity. So we are creating courses, we are coordinating with the instructors, we are making sure that everything is on place, and there's like a complete process and a procedure that we follow. So it's a very great team. The team is called Digital Experience in Education, because what we do eventually impacts the learning experience of the student. So that's what I've been doing in York University.
So mostly your second postgrad degree, which was on PR, is the one that is more relevant to your current job, you could say.
I would say, honestly, nothing is relevant to what I did right now, but there are a lot of marketing opportunities within York University. I've been doing a lot of networking, so I'm pretty confident in the few months I'm gonna, transition into better roles within the organization. So yeah, that's the plan.
And in terms of, I'm sure you talked about your side hustle, which is all about your business that you had been doing. In times to come, what is the strategy? And you've seen the market as to how it is evolving in Canada. What kind of strategies are you evolving? Are you going to continue with your word of mouth strategies, or are you thinking of some other approaches would work?
So the side gig that I do, that is not gonna be my full-time thing. Like, I don't think I'm gonna go in business and having my own agency and stuff. But yeah, that's always good as a side gig. So what my strategy is to secure a good full-time job in marketing. So that's like obviously your main source of income. But the other thing would always remain, that would have like small clients. I have a small team of people who I work with in Pakistan. So there are a lot of projects that are coming in. So I become the point of contact for the client. I become the project manager, and then I'm, sending some work over there as well.
Perfect.
So yeah, but to be honest, the word of mouth, the referral, the leads are still coming in. You might notice that
Amazing.
I quite share that on
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
I do see them.
Yeah,
So perfect, nice, good stuff. Ramesh, one last question for you, and that is that somebody who's planning to move to Canada in a similar situation like yourself, like for your study visa, what is, because that's the route that you basically took, and you talked a little bit about why you did the two programs. But what, in hindsight now, would you still have adopted the same path? And what would be your advice to somebody who's planning to move to Canada in the next 1 year or 2 year?
all right. Yeah. So, and my advice would be, do your research and be mentally prepared. That's what most of the students are not prepared for. I've seen a lot of students, coming from Pakistan, India, and a lot of places. So they're not mentally prepared. And when they come here, they see that life is very tough to what it is in Pakistan or back home, wherever, whatever the case may be. So you have to be mentally prepared for, for any challenges that might come. You have to do, some homework. Like for example, for myself, my first job that I got through networking, I started, reaching out to people while I was in Pakistan. So you have to, start doing that. I would also say that, build a strong personal brand. LinkedIn is the best tool for that. Be good at networking, be good at relationship building. That's what is gonna, make you stand out in this country. And just be mentally prepared. And, Canada is always, welcoming immigrants. So everything is gonna work, but it's just about what you think and how your approach goes.
Normally, I would have concluded my discussion on this one, but then since you mentioned LinkedIn and building your personal brand, I do want to ask a follow-up question, because people normally misunderstand how to use the whole LinkedIn branding for themselves. A little bit of words about how to build a LinkedIn brand. When you say a LinkedIn brand, what do you mean about that?
Sure. So LinkedIn brand is obviously not like any other social media platform. It's like your, let's say your resume converts into a dynamic social media platform, right? So everything about your career, everything about your education, it's at one place. So how it works is, whatever you post over there, you are connecting with a lot of peoples in your industry. You're having, different coffee chats. So there are like two steps, how I define it. The one step is the one-time process that you do. You create the entire LinkedIn profile, add all your achievements, your experiences, your education, a good picture of yourself. Once that's done, the second part is what you do on a continuous basis. So there are two things that you do. One is what you post, the content that you share over there, because through that you get engagement, and through that you get leads, and also you develop a good personal brand. The other thing is networking. When you approach someone, they obviously go to your profile and see what you have done or what are you doing, continuously. So that really helps in, building that relationship. And when you have a good personal brand, when you have, a good activity on your LinkedIn, so people trust you more. As for the brands, as we see all over social media, brands are posting a lot of stuff, doing activities. So that, builds trust, that, creates engagement, and that eventually helps you form a good relationship with any person. So you can
Perfect.
network through all those things. And then obviously when you network, there are endless opportunities, be it job opportunities, be it business opportunities. So this is how the entire cycle works in a nutshell. But I would love to, discuss more. If anybody needs help, they can always reach out to me.
Absolutely. One last thing I just want to add from my side regarding LinkedIn
Sure.
that you mentioned was the kind of people that you start approaching and adding, LinkedIn starts recommending you similar kinds of people to you. And
That's
then
right.
slowly over the period of time, you gather around the people that you have started off with. So if you don't make the right choices at the start as to which area you want to focus in, you end up in a wrong place. But hopefully that's not the case. But anyway, thank you so much, Ramiz, for your time today. We really appreciate it. And hopefully if they have anybody who has questions, we'll route them towards you for any further guidance. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're most welcome. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.